Coming up, a recount of Florida's razor-thin Senate and gubernatorial races off to a bumpy start with some mishaps and litigation. Plus, students and parents at a Sarasota County school upset after some seniors are shown a graphic video without parental consent. How is this vague greeting on a downtown roundabout connected to World War I? Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. The recount of more than 8 million votes in Florida is now in full swing, and the stakes could not be higher. The races for governor and senator are up in the air after both Senate candidates file lawsuits. ABC's Mary Bruce has the story from Washington.
Tensions rising in Florida as protesters over the weekend gathered outside this Broward County election headquarters. The recount of more than 8 million votes in the Sunshine State now in full swing, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The race for governor within a critical half percentage point. Democrat Andrew Gillum, who admitted defeat on election night, is now taking back his concession.
I am replacing my words of concession with an uncompromised and unapologetic call that we count every single vote.
Overnight at a Florida church, Gillum insisting on a full recount.
I'm simply here to say that for the votes that have been cast, they ought to be counted. Every last single one of them.
But his Republican opponent, Ron DeSantis, who currently leads by 33,000 votes, is refusing to back down.
Since the election a few days ago, we have begun our transition efforts to build an administration that can secure Florida's future.
Florida's Senate race is even tighter, and the war of words even uglier. Republican Rick Scott claims his Democratic opponent, Bill Nelson, is trying to steal the election.
Senator Nelson is clearly trying to commit fraud to try to win this election.
But Nelson is accusing Scott of attempting to prevent officials from counting every ballot.
Rick Scott is trying to stop all the votes from being counted, and he's impeding the democratic process.
Both sides have now filed lawsuits. And keeping a close eye from overseas, President Trump is accusing Democrats without evidence of trying to steal two big elections in Florida, tweeting, "We are watching closely." But law enforcement is not currently investigating any potential election fraud.
Mary Bruce reporting there. Sarasota County Supervisor of Elections Office is in day 2 of the machine recount process. People are able to watch as Elections Office staff recount those ballots. The results from the recount must be submitted to the state by Thursday afternoon.
We're just going to see a whole bunch of people looking at the ballots. It's not going to be as fun as 2000 where we had the hanging chads and whatnot.
If the gap in any of those races falls within 0.25% after a machine recount, then the state will order a manual recount where all of the ballots will have to be counted by hand. New at noon, new details on a weekend arrest of a Sarasota police officer. Officer Derek Gilbert arrested after he was allegedly forced off an airplane because he was drunk and attacked an airline staffer. Pinellas County Sheriff's deputies say Gilbert smelled of alcohol and was yelling profanities at Allegiant Airline staff when they arrived at the St. Pete Clearwater International Airport Friday. Airline staff said Gilbert was so drunk he couldn't find a seat, was slurring his speech, and appeared confused. Gilbert is accused of pushing a female airline staffer and later angrily grabbing his 18-year-old son by the neck when the teen tried to calm him down. Gilbert is charged with domestic battery and trespassing. Sarasota police placing him on administrative leave with pay until an internal affairs investigation is complete. A Planned Parenthood video about consensual sex was shown to some high school seniors in one Sarasota County school without district approval. Some parents and even students are now outraged. The district calling the video inappropriate. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us now with the story. Jess?
Scott, according to the district, 135 Pineview High School students, mostly seniors, watched this 3.5-minute Planned Parenthood video called "When Someone Doesn't Want to Have Sex, What is Consent?" It shows several hetero and homosexual couples getting physical and talking sexually. Parents are calling it graphic and demanding to know why their students had to watch it.
So what should we do now? I should probably get to bed.
it's super important.
According to Sarasota County Schools, a counselor with Spark, the Safe Place and Rape Crisis Center, showed students the video that was not approved by school administration. Spark has been teaching health education classes at the district for 15 years. District spokeswoman Tracy Beaker says 2 teachers reported the video and describes it as, quote, an inappropriate based on curriculum guidelines. Beaker says preliminary reports indicate that the Spark counselor acted independently, but both the district and Spark are investigating what happened. Spark CEO Jessica Hayes says the organization is taking internal measures to address what happened and will ensure that it doesn't happen again. Until this investigation is complete, not only is the counselor not allowed to present to students in the district, but no Spark counselors will be involved with the school district until that investigation wraps up. We asked our Facebook viewers what they thought. A majority of people saying that students should see this video and that it's okay, and a small percentage saying that they shouldn't. Here are some of the comments that we got on our Facebook feed. Jara says, I just watched it and have absolutely no problem with my high school age kids seeing this. Jen says, we need to stop pretending these situations don't occur. Kids need to know certain behavior is not okay. We have too many movies and reality shows that glorify bad behavior. If the conversation is not happening at home, it needs to happen in the schools. And Kristen saying, showing them how to be respectful and how to do the right thing is a controversy. I bet if all 3 couples in the video had been heterosexual, no one would have complained. According to Spark, all content presented in the schools is supposed to be approved by district administrators. This video was not and was used as what they're calling supplemental content. You can watch the entire video on our website, mysuncoast.com. Scott.
All right, Jess, thank you. Venice High School is overcrowded, and Sarasota County School District officials are now trying to figure out what to do about it. The district will hold a series of meetings today to get feedback on what to do about the problem. District officials are debating whether to build another wing or add portables until a new school is built in the West Villages area. Venice High School is recently renovated and has a capacity of 2,100 students, but it's already over capacity by about 300 students. The first public workshop happens today at 2:30 at the Venice Middle School Media Center. A second will take place at 4:30 at Venice High School. And at First Alert Traffic, School Avenue between Ringling Boulevard and Nova Street in Sarasota will be closed for the next 6 weeks. City officials say that closure is necessary, so crews can install a new stormwater pipe for a new development called Payne Park Village. Entrances to the Sarasota County parking garage and the parking lots of the Health Department and Payne Park are still open, but School Avenue will be closed until after Christmas. It should reopen around December 27th. Well, that's the holidays, though, but right now it still feels a little like summer here on the Suncoast, where
yes, it does.
We've been near record highs for a couple days.
It went yesterday, 88 degrees.
Yeah.
That's a record, and we're going to be pretty close to that today. If not tying the record or breaking it, we're certainly going to get within a degree or 2. So, yeah, the heat goes on. It looks like it'll probably be that way for today and maybe tomorrow. Then we'll get a little bit of a wind shift. It'll still be above average and still be warm right straight through probably Friday, but maybe not quite as warm, but more humid. Which do you like? You get your choice.
I just want fall weather to arrive.
Well, you'll get your wish on that one too, but you'll just have to wait another 4 or 5 days. So the tower cam at the Van Wezel is showing some pretty nice blue sky out there. Then a few fair weather clouds begin to build. Moisture's increasing across the Suncoast, not only at the surface but aloft as winds turn increasingly southerly. We've got a few scattered showers over by Lake O, but not much in the way of rain showers near us. I don't think we'll probably see a whole lot today, but a few will certainly build under the intense heat that we're going to be seeing this afternoon for this time of year anyway. All those areas outlined in red on the northern Gulf Coast, those are tornado watch boxes. Severe weather certainly possible in that area as an area of low pressure drifts from areas around the Texas coastline up through the northeast and off the Atlantic coast later today. 84, 85, 80, even 6 degrees in some locations on independent weather sites have been already popping up on the weather map this morning. No reason to think that the official temperature at Sarasota, which is currently at 85, won't get up pretty close to 88. It's about where we were yesterday, actually, and so putting the temperature at 88 at 3 p.m., I'll also include about a 20% chance of rain today. Complete forecast for that cooler weather coming up in a few, Scott.
Thank you, John. Now to those historic wildfires that are burning on both ends of California. The death toll rising overnight to 31, with hundreds of people still missing. In the south, more than 250,000 people were ordered to evacuate. Firefighters describing a hurricane of fire obliterating entire neighborhoods.
You come up into this community now and it looks like it's, a war zone of just demolished, burnt up houses.
Oh my God, I'm surrounded by fire. I'm surrounded by fire right now. I don't know what to do.
In Northern California, the so-called Camp Fire has leveled nearly the entire town of Paradise. It's now the most destructive fire on record in California, gutting nearly 7,000 homes and buildings. All right, ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with the day on Wall Street so far, and we're off to a rough start so far.
Scott, there's no question about that. Every index that we follow is down by at least 1.6% so far today, so we've had better mornings, I'll say that. We've had better mornings, and I frequently talk about market leaders, and guess what? Market leaders lead on the way up, but they also unfortunately lead on the way down. Apple, which is part of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, down by almost 5% this morning. Amazon, one of those famous FANG stocks, has the unfortunate position of being down also almost 5%, leading the NASDAQ lower. And let us not forget about General Electric, a former component of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which today traded at less than $8 a share, the lowest price it has seen since March of 2009. Well, that being said, let's see exactly where we stand, and the numbers aren't too pretty. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 432 points, not quite 1.7%, at 25,559.99, that on volume of 514 million shares. The NASDAQ, the big loser so far, down 207 points, 2.8% at 7,200.72. That on a volume of 1,211,000,000 shares. And the S&P, unfortunately, taking it on the chin, very similar to the Dow. The S&P for the moment down 45 points, more than 1.6% at 2,738.09. Well, I was born and raised in Milwaukee, and therefore I cannot pass up the following story. Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR, for those of you who might be familiar with that brand. Well, guess what? Pabst is suing Coors, Miller, because they are saying they will no longer brew Pabst beer. What do you mean it? Pabst is brewed by Molson Miller, and the answer is yes. They have brewed almost all of the Pabst Blue Ribbon beer since 1999, but now they are saying they simply don't have enough capacity to produce their own beer as well as Pabst, and effectively trying to drive Pabst out of business. Well, there is a trial, as you might expect, taking place in Milwaukee County Court today. It's expected to last at least a week, and by the time it's all done, we're going to find out if Pabst Blue Ribbon is going to be available on a shelf near you, or if you're going to have to really go looking for it. But Pabst Blue Ribbon certainly has been a huge player in the beer business for a very, very long time.
I bet. Well, watch it, and you'll be back at 5.
Yeah, and by the way, nice choice of colors on your tie. Scott's tie, I think, color is just perfect.
Good choice.
See you later.
All right, sounds good. Well, if you've driven on Main Street in downtown Sarasota, you've passed by it and maybe never seen it. We're talking about a vague phrase on the side of a low brick wall in the middle of the 5 Points roundabout. It says, "Welcome Buddies." It's actually a replica of an earlier sign that was put up 100 years ago to welcome home soldiers from World War I. This roundabout opened 8 years ago, and some people we talked to were aware of it, but most were not.
Welcome Buddies.
Welcome Buddies. What would your guess be that could mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
It was to welcome back World War I soldiers.
Would that tie this in with the statue we have of the KISS?
That's World War II.
That's World War II. As you can tell, I'm a history buff.
What do you think it means?
It means it's Veterans Day. Welcome home, soldiers.
There is a plaque on the sidewalk a few feet away that explains the Welcome Buddies sign. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how new guidelines for treating high cholesterol takes a more personal approach. Stay with us.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View. A Booker grad returns from the top of the dance world to share what he's learned. I'm Linda Carson. On Suncoast View, Booker High School dancers show us what this amazing dancer has taught them. A fashion expert opens a holiday capsule with a wardrobe that will take you shining through the season. And Popey is preparing a feast in our kitchen.
Tomorrow at 9 on Suncoast View.
Happy Honda Days are here, and you're gonna like the holiday clearance savings. Save on the Accord, on sale for just $249 a month. That's the North American car of the year for less than the competition. Our most impressive Honda ever, on clearance for only $249 a month, loaded with more options, including a turbocharged engine and Honda Sensing. Do not miss these Honda clearance savings this week at your local Honda dealer.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's year-end clearance time at every Ghetto location. Over 3,000 new vehicles, over 1,000 used vehicles on clearance right now at Ghetto.com. And Ghetto Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Get credit help, fast cash for your car, and year-end clearance prices right now at a Ghetto dealership near you. Ghetto's got it. At Ghetto.com.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, kind of a warm, muggy afternoon. Certainly a summer-like feel to this November air as we head into the next day or two. I think it'll probably even get stickier out there. We've got an 85-degree air temperature. We've got a dew point value of a summer-like 71. A little bit of cloud cover out there as well, and a chance of rain showers today, about 20% chance or so. Showers building from the south, kind of lifting north across the region. We have a southeast wind right now at about 13. That southerly component helping to pump the moisture in. That'll be turning to the southwest in the next few hours as the sea breeze begins to build. We'll go with about 88 for a daytime high. 87, 88 I think is a pretty fair bet. And we'll look for a 20% chance of showers accompanying that lingering into the evening hours when we'll start reducing it to about 10% by 7. Temperatures will start to fall off, be in the 70s during the overnight. When you wake up tomorrow morning, there certainly could be some patchy fog across the region. Not out of the question. One little brief lone shower that'll probably be gone in the next 5 minutes or so down around Northport. Other than that, things are pretty quiet on radar currently. Here to the north, not so much. We've got some ongoing showers and even a few thunderstorms around the Atlanta area. Could lead to some airport delays there. We also have some showers building along the east coast, kind of riding on that easterly component to the wind and gradually increasing coverage along the eastern seaboard and moving in our general direction. A frontal boundary located just to the west of us is gradually sinking southward, and as it does so, increases our chance for rain showers as we head into probably Thursday. Back to the west, not much in the way of rainfall around, but we certainly have some extreme fire danger, especially in Southern California, where the wind speeds are now about 30 to 35 miles per hour for the remainder of the afternoon. Tough to fight a fire when you're going upslope with the fire in a speed of 30, 35 miles per hour. Across our region, we've had some nice dry air in place at times over the weekend. That's slowly being replaced by these turquoise contours of moisture. And I think as we head into the next couple of days and winds shift to the southwest coming over Gulf waters, we'll watch that moisture value increase pretty sharply as we head into Wednesday and Thursday. A frontal boundary that came through on Saturday didn't really bring us a whole lot of cooler air, but certainly it brought us a little brief period of some drier air. Sunday morning was absolutely beautiful. And then by Sunday afternoon, of course, we broke records and got moist again. And that's because this front lifting northward as a warm front will keep us in the warm sector of an approaching storm that exits off the mid-Atlantic coast. That front will slow down till the next front kind of gives it the boost necessary to push the cold air actually into our region. That will probably occur. Well, the front will probably come through here on Thursday with a good chance of showers and thunderstorms, and then a better chance as we head into Thursday night and Friday morning for the cold air to arrive. And I think by Friday day, it's going to be a whole different weather picture around here. It's going to be very nice indeed. We'll talk about it in a second. Sun-cloud mix, warm still today and for the next probably 4 days, and then that drier, a little bit less humid air and certainly a lot cooler air arrives in the picture on Friday. So the forecast for boating is not too bad. East winds shifting to the south at about 10 knots, becoming southeasterly during the overnight at about 15. And the forecast for the week ahead looks pretty good. Couple of days of warm, humid weather. Maybe a little bit cooler by the time we get to Wednesday as the winds shift offshore, becoming onshore, and so they cool just a little bit. Thursday, our best rain chance day as the front moves through. Then, yes, indeed, it is going to be beautiful fall-like weather with lows in the 50s, cool, crisp 50s, and daytime highs in the very pleasant 70s, low 70s, Scott.
That's what we've been waiting for. John, thank you. In HealthSmart, new updated cholesterol guidelines. Nearly 1 in every 3 American adults have high levels of bad LDL cholesterol, which contributes to fatty plaque buildup and narrowing of the arteries. People with lower cholesterol levels tend to have lower rates of heart disease and stroke. And according to the American Heart Association, the U.S. needs to take a lifelong approach to lowering cholesterol. Heart Association is releasing new guidelines and cholesterol-fighting tactics. They include more detailed risk assessments, harder-hitting cholesterol drugs for those who are at high risk, and initial cholesterol blood tests for kids between the ages of 9 and 11 to gauge their lifetime risk early on. According to the Centers for Disease Control, more than 1/3 of Americans are obese. That's likely due to poor diet and lack of exercise. But keeping with a diet plan can be challenging. The best diet for your body is one you can stick to. And experts say you should find a plan that fits both your workout and your schedule. Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll hear from Suncoast residents about which diets led to the best results for their health. Well, it's time for lunch now on this noon hour, so let's get over to the kitchen and say hello to JR, who joins us again from JR's Old Packing House Cafe. JR, what are you fixing for us today?
Today we have stuffed London broil. So we're taking spinach, cooked peppers, mozzarella cheese, and then stuffing it inside the London broil and then rolling it up, and you have it finished with some brown gravy with mushrooms and a pesto with cilantro.
It's a brand given life by craftsmen with seductive Italian styling. The Alfa Romeo Giulia, Stelvio.
Get yours at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Watch ABC 7 wherever you are. Just search ABC 7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC 7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC 7, we're here for you wherever you are.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Where to go and what to do in Birmingham, Alabama. Personalized just for you. Find your sweet spots at alabama.travel/sweetspot.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Now to a story about a quick-thinking 10-year-old who police say stopped a would-be kidnapper by asking him just one question. It's a story parents should pay attention to. ABC's Paula Ferris explains what the girl did that stopped the abduction.
This morning, an urgent warning from police about potential abductions like these. Children facing possible kidnapping, running, fighting, even jumping out of cars. And now police in Arizona say a 10-year-old girl thwarted her would-be abductor by following a plan created by her family.
My daughter called me in tears, crying, upset. She told me that some guy tried to take her.
The girl's mother says she was walking with a friend near a local park when a man driving a white SUV pulled up beside them.
He told her that her brother had been in a serious accident and that she needed to come with him.
Instead, she asked for a code word, and that's when the driver took off. It's a plan the girl's family came up with only recently.
They know who can pick them up and who can't, but there's always, that special situation where there might be somebody they don't know or don't know well. So that's why we came up with the code word.
It's a technique that is being praised by law enforcement.
The mother of this child did an awesome job teaching a code word to her child, and that potentially saved that girl's life.
Experts say the most important thing a child can do to escape an attempted abduction is to be proactive. In 2016, a 13-year-old girl was caught on surveillance video running from a would-be kidnapper in Florida, who allegedly stepped out of his car and grabbed her by the waist. She resisted and fled. And in 2015, a Connecticut teenager accepted a ride from an abductor and later jumped out of a moving car. Here you can see her slamming into the pavement. And in 2013, this 8-year-old girl bit a man who was trying to take her. This surveillance video shows her fleeing to find her parents.
80% of the time children are able to get away from a would-be abductor is because something that they did on their own volition, whether that's kicking or screaming or using the code word.
That's Paula Ferris reporting. Wonderful example for all of us to follow as parents. Time now to head back to the kitchen and check in with John, who's with JR from JR's Old Packing House Cafe. John?
JR cooking up something the whole family can enjoy.
Well, John, we're going to start off with the ones that are already made up because, and then we'll make one up just so that we have more or less a finished product when we're getting there. So we take the beef roll up, put that there.
What do you call this?
I'm going to call it stuffed steak.
Okay.
And then we can take in some peppers and onions, all the most colorful ones you can find, obviously, so it fits in really well. And we use red onions and yellow onions and all kinds of colors there. Then over here we have where we can start. So we're going to start off with some fresh spinach. It's going to be a stuffed steak, so we got some fresh spinach. You're going to get your veggies in, so you can tell the kids to have veggies, or while the in-laws are bothering you and you're doing something in the kitchen, gives you a perfect reason to be busy.
There you go. What do you call that piece of beef there? Is that
this is London broil, flank steak or London broil.
Okay.
You kind of want to get you're going to want to flatten it out as much as you can, and you'll see why in a minute. Season it. You might want to marinate it overnight with garlic and Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, and then we take some mozzarella. The other thing neat about this stuff, all the stuff that falls out of the stuffing, you can put right back in, and we can cook it. Then I also made a pesto with cilantro instead of basil. And basically how this works is you just push it right over. And it goes like this. And then you take your skewers, and as you see, pretty easy. Unwrap it. Let it sit for a minute. Might want to refrigerate it for a minute so it gets nice and stiffens up a little bit, and then you just skewer it. But then while you're going over here, got these nice little sticks, and you can just turn it over. And then this is one of those dishes, you know, if you have a wife like mine, she doesn't like too many pots in the dishes when you're all done at home. So this is one of those dishes you can almost do all in one setup. And then as that goes on like that, all we're looking for is for it to turn brown on one side. You can probably stick it in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes afterwards.
So you just brown it and then finish it in the oven?
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and make the sauce now, though, even though it's not quite where we wanted it at.
So it looks like you added some garlic, chopped garlic there.
A little more butter.
A little butter.
And again, if the in-laws are over, we want to add a little wine. Try not to drink too much of it, so you have a little bit for the beef. And as that's doing that, we'll add some mushrooms. So this will be the brown on the bottom, and then the pesto sauce will go on top, and like so. And
what kind of wine are you using there, Jeff?
I like using Merlot or Cab.
Okay. So a medium-bodied red of some sort?
Yeah. Yeah. And let that come up to a nice boil or simmer while it does its thing. And there we go. And in a little while, you'll come up with a dish similar to this.
So how long does it take for the sauce to kind of boil down and turn into that?
About 10-15 minutes.
That's about it, huh? Okay.
Pretty quick, yes, because we're going to do that. So anyhow, at the end of the day, you're going to have a brown gravy on the bottom with your mushrooms, and then you're going to have your skewers that come straight out of the oven, and then you put a little pesto,
set
and you're
that
ready
down
to serve.
right there so we can get a final picture.
Yes.
That looks absolutely great. Serve it with a little yellow rice, and it looks like some toasted bread there, and
here we
you
add a
are
little
good to go.
And
Recipe for it is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the recipe tab, and it'll take you right there with Chef JR's video instructions. JR, thank you very much, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Likewise. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Experience true automotive luxury at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
It's rainy season on the Suncoast. Storms can pop up at a moment's notice. Sometimes it's just rain. Sometimes it's much worse. When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Don't know what's happened to her. She's kind of homebound. She doesn't have a car. You know, I need to find my mom. I'm not giving up hope. She's out there.
Coming up, more than 2 people unaccounted for in California as wildfires decimate entire towns. Plus, controversy surrounding a policy that allowed gunman Nicholas Cruz to register to vote while he awaits trial.
ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. The death toll rises now to 29 in the Camp Fire in Northern California. That's the most destructive fire in the state's history. Hundreds remain missing there. And in Southern California, the Woolsey fire is blamed for 2 deaths and is now about 20% contained. ABC's Natalie Brunell is in California.
Over the weekend, a fierce battle against the relentless Woolsey fire.
Right now we're seeing a great retardant drop right on that line.
Firefighters gaining ground, but bracing for a new round of bone-dry Santa Ana winds, threatening to fuel the erratic inferno.
I'm surrounded by fire. I'm surrounded by fire right now. I don't know what to do.
At one point, 250,000 people under mandatory evacuation orders. In Malibu, sprawling oceanside mansions reduced to ash. Entire neighborhoods obliterated.
You come up into this community now and it looks like it's, you know, a war zone of just demolished, burnt up houses.
An eerily similar scene playing out to the north. The city of Paradise leveled, cars turning into tombs.
There ain't nothing to go back to. We're basically homeless right now.
The Camp Fire near Chico becoming the most destructive fire in California's history, gutting nearly 7,000 homes and businesses, and now matching the state's deadliest, with at least 29 people killed, more than 200 still missing. Governor Jerry Brown pressing the White House for a major disaster declaration.
This is not the new normal, this is the new abnormal. And this new abnormal will continue.
Many residents still haven't been able to get back into their neighborhoods to check on their homes yet. And although the Woolsey fire is now 20% contained, firefighters say with today's expected winds, we are not in the clear yet. Natalie Brunell, ABC News, Oak Park, California.
Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now, and it's not only, just horribly dry there,
right,
but those winds kick up, and I was surprised to see that sometimes they're like tropical storm force winds.
Oh yeah,
that's strong.
Yeah, this afternoon they're anticipating a 30 to 35 mile sustained wind, and of course gusts up to tropical storm force, certainly possible in the southern parts of California. They should improve tonight through tomorrow a little bit. But for the next several hours, it's going to be really difficult to fight back that fire.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you get fire, when you get winds that strong blowing up a mountain, you can't.
There's no stopping.
There's no stopping it. You just try to make sure that people's lives are protected and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get a little bit of break with some higher humidity headed their way for a couple of days before winds start picking up again because of a high-pressure ridge building back in as some very cold air pours southward across the United States. We are looking at an increase in moisture around here, certainly because of winds directed out of the southeast, turning a little bit more southwest with time. A few fair weather clouds already beginning to build, and a few scattered showers popping up here and there across the state. Center part of the state of Florida, we have one in progress now around Northport. But other than that, the action in the south is in the deep south, and that's where areas of red that you can see right there are highlighting areas where tornadoes may form today. That's a tornado watch box. Plus, lines of showers out in Gulf waters have that little blue kind of demarcation there. Those are special marine warnings because that line of showers, those 3 lines of showers, could actually produce numerous water spouts today. Now, none of that is headed in our direction, but we will see some temperatures that possibly might break records across central Florida today. Right now, we're at about 85 in most locations, some places coming in at 86. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. New details now on the gunman accused of killing 12 people at a bar last week in Thousand Oaks, California. A second high school coach of gunmen says he remembers Ian Long as volatile and intimidating. Evie Kluk coached Long and says he would lose his temper, throw tantrums, and scream, and that she witnessed him assault a fellow coach. That coach says Long grabbed her rear and stomach after she refused to return a cell phone. Another time, Long used his hand to mimic shooting her. Both coaches say they reported his behavior to school officials. The man accused of gunning down 17 people at a Florida high school registered to vote while behind bars awaiting trial. Nicholas Cruz registered as a Republican on July 25th. He's charged with 17 counts of first-degree murder, 17 counts of attempted murder for the Valentine's Day mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. The father of a victim tweeted Saturday that he's sick to his stomach that Cruz was allowed to register while in jail and criticized the Broward County Sheriff for allowing it, but by law, Cruz has not been convicted of a crime and was eligible to vote this year. Thanks to Florida voters, some former felons who have completed their sentences now have the right to vote. Last week, voters approved Amendment 4, which automatically restores voting rights for people previously convicted of felonies. However, those convicted of murder or felony sex offenses are excluded. The amendment gives more than 1 million people the ability to regain their right to vote. A 20-year-old Milwaukee man is charged with making serious threats against polling places on Election Day. Police say Brandon Baker was armed with an AR-15, and they later found 3 other guns concealed in his clothes and backpack, all of them loaded. Despite warnings from police, Baker allegedly refused to put down the AR-15 and told officers he was running for governor and planned to start a militia. Inside his apartment, police say they found drug paraphernalia, including marijuana, LSD, and jars full of psychedelic mushrooms.
This guy, I think, is pretty crazy. 3 or 4 days before the whole incident, and he was like talking about how he planned on being governor.
Baker was in court Saturday, the judge ordering him to undergo a competency evaluation before he can stand trial. Former President George W. Bush and his wife Laura honored yesterday at the National Constitution Center with the $100,000 Liberty Medal, even as Veterans Day emotions ran hot and noisy over U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Shanti Lands has the story.
Constitution Center's honor to award you the 2018 Liberty Medal.
Former President George W. Bush and former First Lady Laura Bush were honored at the National Constitution Center with the Liberty Medal Award.
I am incredibly proud, along with Laura, to receive the Liberty Medal. And I thank the National Constitution Center and the members of its board for this high honor.
The award is given to people who work to bring liberty around the world. This year, the Bushes were honored for their commitment to veterans. Former Vice President Joe Biden presented the award.
It's not about, again, Democrats or Republicans. It's about who we are. It's about standing up for men and women who put their lives on the line to defend us every single day.
Biden even offered the Bushes a surprise gift, Philly style.
My wife, Jill, who could not be with us tonight, wanted me to simultaneously present you both with a Philadelphia Eagles jersey tonight.
Lighthearted cheers were met with tense ones after a protester interrupted the ceremony to speak out against the Bushes receiving the award. And on the outside, outrage on Veterans Day from post-9/11 war vets with the same gripe.
All these years later, there are more than 500,000 people dead, and one of them is my son. I can't understand why we're giving a medal to a man who lied to this country and brought us into this colossal mistake of a war.
In other news, Sarasota County voters approve a referendum to extend the Legacy Trail and its connections. The Legacy Trail, just one of hundreds of former rail lines in the U.S. that have been transformed into trails. The nonprofit group Rails to Trails says the goal of the program is to build healthier places for healthier people. Sarasota County hopes to extend this trail to get more people motivated to enjoy the outdoors.
It's a great way for people to get outside, appreciate nature, get healthy, get active.
Coming up tonight at ABC 7 at 7, find out what's next for the Legacy Trail and the rest of the rail trail system throughout the state. Still to come in your Suncoast News, first scooters that set on fire, now scooters that break in half. I'll tell you what scooter company has issued a global recall right after this.
It's year-end clearance time at every Gettle location. Over 3,000 new vehicles, over 1,000 used vehicles on clearance right now at Gettle.com. And Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Get credit help, fast cash for your car, and year-end clearance prices right now at a Gettle dealership near you. Gettle's got it. At Gettle.com.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think It Up.
Get the best Black Friday deals right now during the Black Friday sales event at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Renegade 4x4 for just $16,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Across the region, 85 degrees, our air temperature, dew point value high at 71. That feels pretty sticky, I think. A little bit of cloud cover has grown in the last hour or two or three, and we have a southeast wind coming in at about 13, kind of breezy today. That southeast wind will turn a little southwest with time, and that will, I think, really spike our humidity probably on Wednesday into Thursday. Each and every morning for the next several mornings, I think we have a chance at seeing a little bit of patchy fog around, particularly in wind-protected areas, in inland locations mostly. But the chance of any kind of widespread dense fog not that high because our winds are elevated a tad. 20% chance of showers later this afternoon as our daytime high climbs up to close to records. Probably won't break a record today, but we'll get close to it. It'll be on the low side, I think. 81 by around 7 p.m. as things start to wind down just a little bit. One little lone shower down around Northport, thank you, is looking at dissipating here in a pretty short order. We had one dissipate, another pop up. We'll probably have another one popping up in inland areas, most likely over the course of the next half hour or so. That's the way it's going to be today. Only about a 20% chance of those isolated showers popping up. Across the other coast has had more widespread showers as we've had an onshore flow there. And of course, in the deep south, lots of showers and thunderstorms. You can clearly make out the line of showers associated with the frontal boundary. And around the Atlanta airport, there's some pretty good ongoing shower and thunderstorm activity. So far, no airport delays. The 1240 is in the air, so that's good news. And the next flight out of Sarasota to Atlanta is running on time so far. So good news there, but I certainly would, if you're taking a later flight, call ahead to your carrier and make sure everything's okay. Got some stronger storms just to the north of the airport. We've got a low pressure area attached to a warm front that kind of meanders across the state of Florida, lifting northward. As it does that, we're kind of locked in this warm, soupy air mass across the state for the next several days, giving us above average temperatures and very warm conditions. So sun cloud mix, we stay warm today, but all eyes are trained on that cold front back to the west. That's the one that's really going to change up our weather come Friday and bring us some really delightful weekend conditions. Drier, cooler air on the way as that front sinks southward and clears out all this raininess. Brings us really crystal clear skies for Saturday and Sunday, I think. Friday might still be some residual cloud cover around. The area shaded here in yellow are locations where there may be some severe weather today. We have a little sliver over here on the Atlantic coast as that low exits there later in the evening and overnight. For the next couple of days, I think we have chances of thunderstorms across the state of Florida, but Severe Storms Prediction Center not identifying anything severe. A general southerly wind develops. Those winds start coming up, and so too do the rain showers over the next several days. Eventually, I think by Thursday, we'll start to develop a more southwest flow, and that's when the humidity will spike. But even though it gets kind of sticky around here on Thursday, take heart, because that's the day before our frontal passage brings us some beautiful weather. East wind coming in at about 10 knots. Not a bad day out on the waters. I think you may encounter a shower or two, but it shouldn't be too bad. And then over the next several days, we stay warm and muggy. Thursday, the best rain chance day as our frontal boundary comes through at about 50%. We'll watch for severe weather on that day, though none forecast quite yet. It's a little early for that. And then as we head into the weekend, doesn't get any better. Low 70s for daytime highs, cool, crisp nights. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, some Lime electric scooters may actually be lemons. The company named Lime is taking some of its electric scooters out of service because they can easily break apart while in use. That may have contributed to 2 deaths. Other Lime scooters were recalled last month because of a fire risk. Looking ahead, if you own a small business on the Sun Coast or you want to start one, you may want to check out this event coming up. Manatee County is hosting its 4th annual Small Business Expo. It happens Thursday. The free event will offer information about services that can help you launch a business or operate your existing business more effectively. It's also a good opportunity to network. It will take place at the Downtown Central Library in Bradenton from 9:30 until noon on Thursday. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the latest on celebrities whose homes have been destroyed by deadly wildfires in California.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs is Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs is Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs is Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. My firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years. Since that time, hundreds of people with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent them. We have local offices throughout the U.S. and there is no risk to you. Mesothelioma really is all we do.
Call us at 1-800-485-6000. That's 1-800-485-6000.
Or go to mesoonlylaw.com.
Get local news and information from the team you trust. Like ABC7 WWSB on Facebook to stay connected to the Suncoast.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
In entertainment news, Lady Gaga, along with many other celebrities, are waiting to hear if their homes in Southern California are still standing. Lady Gaga tweeting she's one of thousands of people who had to evacuate because of wildfires in Malibu. Liam Payne of One Direction tweeted he thinks he's lost his house, but he urges people not to take unnecessary risks. Martin Sheen, Shannon Doherty, Alyssa Milano, Rainn Wilson, and Guillermo del Toro also say they had evacuated their homes there in Malibu. Aerosmith guitarist Joe Perry is recovering in a New York City hospital. He's being treated for shortness of breath following a guest appearance Saturday night with Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden. A rep for the 68-year-old Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member says paramedics treated Perry backstage, giving him oxygen and clearing his airway before taking him to the hospital. A spokesperson for Perry says he's expected to be back out on the road performing later this month. Finally, The Grinch has something to smile about today. The animated take on the classic Christmas tale stole the box office top spot in its debut. It earned about $66 million in ticket sales. That knocked Bohemian Rhapsody into second place with just under $31 million in week 2 of its release. And then bad news for those other new releases. One was the World War II horror film Overlord, which finished in 3rd place. And then The Girl in the Spider's Web finished 4th in ticket sales. So,
may have to see Grinch.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
My favorite.
Thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you again at 4 o'clock. Until then, have a great day, everyone.